My overall focus in my research is to better understand preschool children's social and emotional development and how the context of their relationships with their teachers, parents, and peers either inhibit or promote development in those areas. So that's my overarching goal in terms of what I do, and I research that in a variety of ways. Sometimes it's direct interaction and observation with children within the context of their relationships. And another way that I like to look at it is through an ongoing project that I'm part of with the Coalition for Natural Learning here on campus, which is an interdisciplinary team that involves me, faculty from the Department of Design, and faculty from Landscape Architecture. And we work around the state of Texas with different child care centers to redesign their outdoor learning environments. And it's really a very fun project to get to know the different stakeholders at centers around the states and see what it is that they want in terms of their outdoor learning environment and how they can use it as even sort of an extension of their classroom. So for example, we know that outdoor time for children is important for many reasons, but they have different types of opportunities to, for example, use their problem-solving skills, their creativity. They show longer attention spans outside. And there also are conflicts, but also resolutions to conflicts. And so I'm interested in looking at how, if there are certain types of elements in spaces that really promote more of those peer interactions and the problem solving and the socio-emotional development. So we do that primarily through observation. And one of the techniques that we use is behavior mapping, where we're able to observe groups of children and actually plot them in the physical space and see, for example, like how much time somebody's spending in the sand play area and the types of activities that they're engaged in there. So are people predominantly playing in the sand with others? Are they playing really by themselves and more of a solitary play? Or just kind of looking at the types of play and interactions related to the different types of elements in the outdoor learning environment. It's also a great place to see the development of their emotion regulation skills, because there often are big emotions that come with playing outdoors and, again, interacting around the different elements that are in the space. So they get to learn, what do they do when they get really angry at a friend who's, taken one of their toys or, has blocked their trike from going down the path or things like that. So it's really a context that's ripe for a lot of observation and better understanding how children are negotiating those things. I got involved in the Coalition for Natural Learning a few years ago. I was invited by Dr. Charlie Klein in Landscape Architecture and Dr. Christy Gaines in the Department of Design. They were already working on a statewide initiative that was originally called Preventing Obesity by Design, and working with outdoor learning environments. And so as their work was progressing, they knew that I had an interest in young children and understanding their learning and their development in different ways. So they invited me to be part of that group. And I think there's a lot of benefit to the fact that we all have different perspectives that we take to that project as we're interacting with the teachers and the directors and the children at the child care centers. So it's really been a great partnership. I've learned so much about design and landscape architecture from working with them that just is something that I've never studied or known anything about. And so I really think that those kinds of projects are great for like my own learning, and great opportunities to include students in those projects too, so that they recognize that it's great to do research within HDFS, but you also can collaborate with a wide variety of disciplines. Undergrads and graduate students work with us on those projects, doing community presentations, also collecting some of the data, working on the different design plans for the centers, and really they're involved in every step of the process along with the faculty. So I think one of the things that I've experienced with undergrad research assistants is that they often are surprised at what research in social sciences involves, learning all the steps that are involved in the process. And I think that it also helps them make connections between what they're learning in the classroom. I often have students who will be working on something in the group and they'll say, oh, I learned about that in research methods. Like, I know what that means, or I know how to do that, or, oh, I remember in theories we talked about, this aspect of development, and I saw that today in the children that I was working with. So I think it really is a great opportunity to really kind of make connections and sort of pull things together that they're learning in their classrooms and that they know, but maybe looking at it in a slightly different way. I often have undergrad students who have no experience whatsoever in research, and that's perfectly fine. And I really like to introduce students, if they have an interest in doing research, I do some things to try to help them figure out what they're interested in doing and whether they're gonna, come up with their own research idea and do their own independent project or do a project that's related to something I'm doing. They really don't need any previous skills. Like, I'm happy to, to help them get where they want to be. It's really about, if you have an interest and you want to try it out and see what it's about, happy to have you do that.